In the next three examples, we want to study the given scatter plot and see what we can determine about the type of association and the strength of association between the two given variables. In example 2, the scatter plot below depicts the number of faculty and students at several colleges. Describe the type of association seen in the scatter plot and interpret the meaning of that relationship. Just like we did with the previous graphs, what can help here is to sort of draw a straight line pattern through those data points, if you can. And then that can guide our interpretation. Here we see a strong positive association. We know it's positive because as x is increasing, y is increasing. We know it's strong because the points are relatively close to that straight line pattern. And what this means in context is that as we see an increase in the number of faculty at a school or at these different schools, we also see increasing numbers of students. Or a simpler way to say that would be more faculty, more students. There is an association between those two variables. Or again, we can flip that around and say that as we look at schools with fewer faculty, we also see fewer students. In example 3, we have a scatter plot depicting the average work commute time and population with children under 18 in millions for different regions. We again can sketch a straight line pattern through this data if that seems possible and use that to help inform our interpretation. In this case, we have a negative association since as x increases, y decreases, and our data points fit closely to that straight line pattern, so we can call this a strong negative association. That means as the average commute time increases, we see a decrease in the population with kids under 18. Or flipping those directions around, if we see an area with a lower average commute time, or as the average commute time decreases, then we see an increase in the population with kids under 18. So the negative association meaning that those two variables change in the opposite direction. As one increases, the other decreases, and we can flip that around. In example 4, we have a scatter plot depicting the number of ghost and UFO sightings in different regions. We want to describe the type of association. Again, we would want to start off by trying to draw a straight line pattern through this data, if we can. In this case, there's no, or at least not nearly as clear of a pattern in the data. So what we would say is that there is no association in this case, or perhaps just a weak association, very little association. So we would say that as the number of ghost sightings increases, the number of UFO sightings does not follow a discernible pattern. And perhaps here we should really emphasize that what we're talking about is a linear pattern. There could be some other kind of pattern that we can make out of that data, but we're really talking about a straight line pattern, seeing a clear relationship between both variables increasing together, both variables decreasing together, or having opposite behaviors of each other. Or we could flip this around the other way and say that as the number of ghost sightings decreases, the number of UFO sightings still does not seem to follow a discernible pattern.